How much do you think Luck could get on his next contract with Wilson getting a big new deal?
Oh boy. So what was that? Like 4-year? What was it? 100 what?
4-year, 140.
So Luck was 6 for 140. I think a lot of it's going to come down to what the percentage of the cap will look like. I think that's where a lot of these quarterback deals are going to trend going forward. I mean, Andrew Luck could potentially break obviously, I feel like every quarterback breaks the bank. That's just how it is. Even quarterbacks that you wouldn't even label as, top 5 quarterbacks. That's how that position, if you are a definite starter in this league at the quarterback spot, you break the bank. Like, that's just, Kirk Cousins is breaking the bank. So, let me pull up Luck's contract right here. So, yeah, Luck's under contract through 2021, and, it was $139 million is what it came out to be. $44 million guaranteed at signing. So I think those are the numbers that are certainly going to change a lot. It's just, I feel like the guarantees get more and more for these guys, especially when quarterbacks get a bit older. But, Andrew Luck still has 3 years, probably 2 years, I would assume. Jim Irsay will want to restructure that deal in the summer before he goes into that contract year. That will dictate just how much he is going to get. But I see no reason why he's not going to be the highest paid quarterback in the league, come the summer of 2021.
This is from King JSTA. Who are the Colts projected to take in the first round of the NFL draft?
Oh, boy. Well, I think defensive tackle would be the position that I would look at right now. Trench, if I'm allowed to be a little bit more broader. I think it just, again, so much of it, it's so unpredictable, Joey, when you have 25 decision makers ahead of you that will dictate what is going to be on the board. I would still be slightly surprised if they moved up in the draft. I'm probably a little bit less surprised than I would have been a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, but I come back to the names of Christian Wilkins, Jerry Tillery, and Jeffrey Simmons. And those are the 3 names that I think it'd be an interesting bet to say you get those 3 names or you get the field, if you want to go with a little Tiger Woods reference from the mid-2000s.
Okay. This is an interesting one from J-Dub. He says, what's up, KB? Someone probably asked you this already, but I'm feeling more and more like the Colts will trade back. We know Ballard loves them second-rounders, and there might not be someone that's truly worth a first-round pick. What do you think?
It's a good question, J-Dub, and I think it's something that is a good question because think about it after this year, Joey. You no longer have this tremendous draft capital. You aren't going to be in line for a compensatory pick, I feel like, very high. Unless I'm just missing something, I don't think you're going to be in line for a high compensatory pick in the 2020 draft. So you obviously don't have any more picks from the Jets. So this is it, really. You're going to be back to a normal sort of, you pick at 28, you pick at, 56, and you pick at, whatever it is, or I guess you pick a lot later than 56. You pick more like at 60. So I think that's something to keep in mind. I would probably, if you're going to make me a pie chart, Joey, I say 70% chance the Colts pick it where they're at, 10% they trade up, 20% they trade back. Because I do think at some point, and I get how this draft board looks, Ballard says, there's 14 elite players. Okay, there's 4 quarterbacks you throw into those 14, separate from that group. That now means once you get to pick 18 or 19, is everyone the same? Like, is pick 19 the same as pick 33? If that's the case, then you do probably move back and you find someone that's a little, player hungry to come up and jump there. But I'm not in the mode, and I don't think the Colts are in the mode either of like must stockpile picks again. It's a nice thing to have, but this isn't last year when your roster looked really grim, honestly, this time last year.
Andrew Fisher sticks with the theme of Jeffrey Simmons, and he wants to know, would you draft Simmons at 26 even if he couldn't contribute this year?
Well, I think I've been on record of saying I hate the idea of drafting a redshirt player, and that's purely selfish. Yeah. It's purely like,
what a waste.
Here's our guy. wait till 2020 to see him.
Yeah.
And, we don't have the full diagnosis on Simmons. I assume he's going to miss the entire year. He tore it, March?
Yeah.
You would think that would mean
March or
he
February.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, Ballard has been more of a 12-month guy than not when it comes to ACLs, especially, you imagine risking your first-round draft pick. Like, you'd have to put him on the roster at some point, which would impact things, or I don't even know if you put him on PUP or IR to return, or I would have to look into all that. I don't start looking into those things until like the summer. But yeah, I'm just saying this strictly from a selfish standpoint, Joey. That I don't want to write about the first round pick 3 times between now and December, and all it is just updates and how is the mental grind going?
Yeah.
But I will say this. That pick 34, what you have from the Jets allows you to do some things where, like, boom, you go Simmons at 26, then you come back at 34 and you take, insert player here, Taylor Rapp, Jonathan Abrams, something like that. Then all of a sudden, it's like that's pretty much the first round pick. It's 2 picks into the second round. So I just think
or vice versa, right? I mean, if Simmons falls,
right,
34,
right. That too. So I think it just allows you to be creative, and this is what Ballard, I think, has to have honest conversations with his scouting department about, and it's this: when are we going to have the opportunity to draft a top 15 talent? And I mean that in this sense. You can get that with Jeffrey Simmons. Now, the caveat is you're going to have to redshirt him. Or B, you can get it from trading up, where you have this 34th pick as an extra chip. And, Maddie and I think, covered some of these draft scenarios last week, trade-up scenarios. If you move from like 27 to 18 or 27 to 16, you're probably giving up a third-ish round pick. So you aren't mortgaging your draft to the degree that most teams would that don't have that luxury of an additional second-round pick. So I'm against Simmons just because I'm selfish and I want to see the first-round pick on the field, but I can see a lot of reasons why Chris Ballard would do it.